define your writing goals. It's easy to say, oh, I'd like to write 500 words every time I sit down and focus on my project. It would be easy to say, I want to write a book. By setting a specific word count for your activity, you are going to push yourself forward, get closer to your writing goals, and give yourself a much higher chance of succeeding with that pattern of daily, consistent writing habits. That might be the crafting of a new poem. It might be the crafting of a short story. But it's too easy to let time pass and not write. And the absence of writing goals, the absence of specific ways of looking at what it is that you want to create, that will cause you to procrastinate, and it will mean that you fail to write tomorrow on your new writing goal. Creating good written output is helped enormously by having a specific, measurable way of defining what you want to do. I don't write for 8 hours a day, but I do write every day. I typically write for 2 hours every afternoon, and in those 2 hours I will write 800 words an hour to move my projects along by 15 or 1600 words for that block of time in my writing diary. Consistency is more important than high volumes of words one day and crashing with a very low volume of output the next day. We're here to talk about writing consistently, regularly, and to get a steady output of words into your writing projects every single day that you sit down to write. So define what it is that you want. Are you looking at creating a 60,000 word short novel for a particular genre, like a cozy mystery, for example, where that's okay? Do you need to write 80 or 90,000 words for a thriller? Are you looking for a science fantasy book which might have 120,000 words? By defining your writing goal, you get a lot closer. Saying that you're going to write 800 words tomorrow evening or tomorrow morning before you go to your day job or your main source of employment is half the battle. But what you also need to do is think, how long is this project that I'm working at? How long is this project that I want to create written output for? And if I write 500 words at each sit-down session and I want to create a 50,000 word short novel, that's 100 days of writing. But now you have definition. You know where you're starting, you know what your end point is, and the gap between those 2 points is where your consistent habit of writing comes into play. Is it a book of poetry with 12 poems? Is it realistic to say, okay, every 3 days I have a new poem so that by the end of the month I have the content that I need for my new collection of poetry? It might be that one day you fast draft a poem, the next day you review it and you make some amendments, and the third day you produce the final edit, and that is your finished poem for the first of those 12 poems to go in your collection. You might be writing non-fiction and you might be looking for a 45,000 word how-to book. Well, if you can sit down for an hour every day and create 800 to 1,000 words, you are 6 weeks away from the first draft of that book. Set goals and deadlines. A specific daily word count as part of what goes in your diary or your bullet journal planning tool. That allows you to know the speed at which you will go from starting your writing project to having a first complete draft ready for an edit. Don't just go for the word count. Have a completion deadline date in your diary to give you impetus and focus and to give you that impetus to move things forward. Give great thought to the theme and the direction of your writing project, but also look at the amount of days that you will need to get that project completed based on your daily word count as part of your consistent, regular writing activity.